James T. Farmer. Farmer was born January 12th. Mom!
Did you want this?
Yes. Thank you very much. James T. Farmer was born on January 12th in Marshall, Texas. Before he led the Congress for racial equality, he was a star debater in his college. He's always been nonviolent, and most of his teachers come from Gandhi. He was the first African American citizen to receive a doctorate in Texas. Also, he assembled all of the freedom rides and the sit-ins for the restaurants and bus tours. He also co-founded CORE, which stands for Congress of Racial Congress of Racial Equality. Thank you. CORE started when they wanted CORE started when they wanted to desegregate Chicago in 1942 in an eatery. CORE started with a mostly white, North-based membership, but it then proceeded to address problems more in the South than the North. Farmer was made a national director of CORE in 1961 in February. With this title, his name started to get more famous, like King and Malcolm X. Sit-ins were gaining so much Because the sit-ins were gaining so much attention, he decided to start Freedom Rides. The Freedom Rides' main purpose was to challenge the segregation in bus travel, which was made illegal in 1946. The Freedom Rides consisted of black men and women traveling in the lower South through many bus routes. The first ride was launched in May 1961. After traveling through several states, this bus was firebombed and exploded, as you can see in this picture right here. The brutal attacks on the Freedom Rides were absolutely horrible. One rider was left hurt so badly he was paralyzed from the neck down for the rest of his life. In September 1961, the Interstate Commerce Commission declared segregation impermissible in southern states. Farmer was jailed for CORE-related work, and 3 members of CORE were murdered brutally in Mississippi in 1964. Farmer eventually retired CORE in the mid-1960s. He wrote a book, Freedom, When. He then ran for Congress on the Republican ticket against Democrat Shirley Chisholm in 1968. He later worked in the administration for President Nixon. He later worked in the administration for President Nixon, but left because of frustration. Life story in his He wrote his whole story in his autobiography, Lay the Bare Heart, in the 1990s. From then, he received a National Medal of Freedom from Bill Clinton.
Yes.
According to the Oxford Dictionary, the definition of civil rights is the rights of citizens to political and social freedom and equality. He spent his entire life using peaceful protests to advocate for civil rights in the North and the South. Being a civil rights activist takes guts, and I think he has it. Even through all this hardship and brutality, he still managed to push through and live his whole life advocating for something that was right and something that America needed. He also had an eye patch. Anyway, thanks for watching.